Josh here with Joshing Nature. I'm deep in the Cascade Mountains, and for the next 24 hours, I'll be attempting to recreate my mom's signature kimchi fish stew with wild mountain trout served alongside a steaming hot Outdoor Boys honey butter bread biscuit. This time, our adventure starts in the kitchen. In order for us to have bread by the time we're up at the top of the mountain, we need to get it going now so that it'll ferment. In addition to this, we need to make the soup stock for the kimchi soup. It's going to be really simple, so just stick along and I'll show you how it's done. Nice big. We get this nice little soup base for our kimchi trout soup. What up, y'all? We just got to the trailhead. We're about to go up this mountain, but first we're gonna go ahead and do a quick little gear check. So I just picked up this Panther Martin up in there. That's that secret lure. Little pair of tweezers so we can safely handle the fish. We got our fishing rod, trekking pole, and we brought some sandals along this time too, so we don't have to just raw dog all the sticks down there. Got everything ready to go. Bread's fermenting, and there's only one other car in the parking lot, so it'll either be me with that person or I'll be completely alone if they come back down. Either way though, it's gonna be 3.5 miles up, probably about 1,500 vertical feet, so not too bad, but also definitely got a ways to go. The first and last mile of the hike is always the hardest. We're coming up on our first little bridge feature. That's a pretty good view. A little detour. So I was just walking down the trail and I noticed this little millipede here. This thing right here is pretty much exactly what my secret bait imitates. When the bait's spinning real fast in the water, the yellow spots spin off to the side. It looks like that, and a bumblebee. So today, I don't actually have my boots on. That last trip in bear country or whatever, that thing poked a hole straight through my boots. So I can finally wear these trail runners, which is actually really nice. They weigh next to nothing. And my buddy Griffin actually told me that these little spruce tips or whatever, you can eat them. I could see that being good in some trout, honestly. If there's some more up there, I might harvest some. The hike feels a lot easier than it did last year. Maybe our physicality is improving. Who knows? Well, it low-key feels like we just started, but I think we're already halfway there. That little clearing is where the trail meets up with some other system and branches off to where we want to go. Should I take the path on the left or that old one over there? I kind of like the old one. Hey, that ain't too bad. They didn't need to replace this. Well, we just passed by the other people on the trail, and that means we're probably going to be up there alone. Let's go. So you see those big leaves up there? Those are Devil's Club. Their leaves make for great lean-to roof shingles. So you can see that little ridge that follows up there. We want to end up in the bowl of that over there. Check out that little stairway. Pretty good construction, huh? Okay, now I'm starting to feel that incline a little bit. Shit, look, it got me gassed. Once again, we've got some false morels. The white, thick stalk, kind of like a real morel, but more crumpled up. And then there's none of that, I guess, texture on the cap. It's just lumpy like a brain. But it is an indicator species. Now there's a suspicious pile of rocks. No idea what's underneath there, but that doesn't make any sense. The incline is pretty unforgiving. Slowly but steadily, our perspective of that little cliffside is changing. We are only 1 mile away now. And earlier when I said I was halfway there, we were not halfway there. But on the bright side, there's no more switchbacks. Just a straight route to the lake, which I personally am really excited about. I swear this is the last clip of the trail itself, but like, come on. We're almost there though. I'm so sorry, but here's another avalanche zone close up. And there's the ridge line on the other side. It's beautiful, but it's gonna be foggy up there. My goodness. Well, we're pretty much here. Time for us to find a little site. And once we find that little site, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pitch up camp. I found my fire from last year. It's even got the little pieces of wood I split up still. And it treated me well last time, so why don't we use it again? That feels real good, but the work is not done. Well, I'm not sure if this will fit, but I guess we'll find out. I think that fits perfectly, actually. Right about there seems good. That looks good to me. Well, I'd say it looks pretty cozy in there. I'm gonna go ahead and zip this up and let the bugs get in. And I think up next, we need to catch some fish and cook some dinner. Alrighty y'all, so here's everything you're gonna need. By the way, the view is just spectacular and there's fish all up in that water. So we're only gonna need 2 things really, and the third is just for convenience. So we need this. This is our secret little lure. A pair of pliers helps with getting the fish off. And then last but definitely not least, our fishing pole with some light line on it. Gonna go ahead and set that up. There's so much movement in the water, guys. But the rod is all strung up. And all that's left is just to tie a little Palomar knot. There it is. Now I'm gonna mount y'all to a tree to see if I can't get an angle on this first cast. I think there's a high likelihood that I'm gonna catch something the very first cast. it is. Look at that. The rainbow trout cutthroat cross. Bet you've never seen that before. The Cutbow Trout. This guy's real small and he's only got one hook in him, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him go. That's what these pliers are for. There he goes. Damn, what the hell was that? Now that one seems like a little bit more of an eating size. So I made this little live well here. I'm gonna just leave him in there. And another one to the live well. Let's get that hook out of his mouth. Get up, buddy. Yeah, these guys will be all right. Alright y'all, it's starting to get dark and I lost my lure in the water, so I'm changing into some sandals, and then with the 2 fish that I've caught, I think I'm gonna go ahead and make some of that kimchi fish stew. Something tells me the bread's risen a little bit. Oh yeah, it's overflowing. There she is. We're about balls deep in the water here, but we freed up the lure. And since we're out here, we might as well get a couple casts in, right? Well, I gave it a couple casts, but might be past dinner time. At least the sky is clearing up a bit. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get that fire started. Pants are a little wet, so fire is gonna be quite nice. Alright guys, the time has come to take these guys out of the game. Man, there's hardly any eggs up in here. You know, I always find it interesting that 2 fish of the same species and sex can have just completely different colored meat. Like, wow, what is going on? The fire's going beautifully. That's what we like to see. I'm about to start up that kimchi soup now. Alright, prep for this should be pretty simple. We've already got the fish cleaned up, so I'm just gonna basically snap them in half and then throw it into the water with some kimchi and that green onion that we cut up earlier. I'll show you in a sec here. Nice orange meat. Some trout up in there. Next, we're gonna throw some seaweed up in there. And then most importantly, we'll have our kimchi here. Alright, so we have kimchi, seaweed, fish, salt, and an egg in here. Might throw another egg, but let's get some water in here and get it boiling. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Here is our glorious soup. Smells amazing. Alright, yeah, I just picked out all the bones for the most part. Got a couple pin bones left up in there probably, but gonna heat it back up to a boil and eat it. Oh yeah, let's kill the heat on that. That looks like a hearty soup. I am so ready for that. It's really hard to hold the bowl and the GoPro at the same time. Here's a delicious little bite of some seaweed, kimchi, fish, and egg. Give it a quick little dip. Oh, that hits the spot. Ah, wow, that broth tastes so good. That savory from the kimchi flavor, it's so delicious. There's not even like a hint of fishy flavor. And that umami from the seaweed, plus the egg yolk, oh my god. It's actually insanely good. You know, I was looking at this bread here, and my mouth just started to drool, so I've decided I'm gonna make some of it. Alright, so I twisted off this little chunk. I'm gonna flatten it out just a touch and drop it in that oil. Alright, now we just gotta give it some time. Let's check that out. Got it roasting. Oh yeah. It's nice and crusty. Got this glorious honey. Manuka honey, actually. Going on that bread. That's a little bit too decadent, isn't it? The walnuts are all like caramelized, toasted up with a little bit of that salted butter. Wow. The raisins just bursting with flavor. And the dough is perfect. Holy. This bread is way too good. Really look at that thing. Golden brown and buttery with honey, walnuts, and raisins. For me, it couldn't be any better. Alright, y'all, that was an extremely tasty meal. Nose is a little bit plugged up, as you can probably hear, but it's probably pretty late. I'm guessing like 11:30, and I've been pretty tired and cold out here, so gonna go to bed now. Good night, y'all. See you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We've got our dough all fermented. So why don't we have some bread for breakfast? Maybe catch some fish. Got our fire going nice and strong. Let's go get that fish from the shore. So glad it cleared up. And that's what we came here for. There it is, Liz. Here's that trout we caught earlier, all cleaned up. I'm gonna fry it off in some butter, and then I'm gonna stick it into some kimchi soup. Alright, I got this butter up in the pot. Got this little tuft of bread out. I'll let that start cooking down. Look at that thing. It's just getting started and it's already sexy. The bread's shaping up quickly. It's got a nice crust on it already. Look at that thing right there. Wow. I think I've learned it. Just gets better and better. Got the rest of this kimchi here. Pour it up into the cup. Now I'm gonna throw in the egg, seaweed, and some water. Top it off with the fish. Alright, y'all, got my little fish soup going. Probably take a couple minutes to boil up, and then we'll go eat that, pack up, and head out. Well, here's the last bite. It's got some walnuts and raisins up in it. That is dialed. May as well have this apple. Honey butter bread with the apple. Cosmic crisp. Spectacular. Alright, so the tent is like, you know, half packed up. But I think this soup is ready for eating. Look at that. Alright, we're all packed up. Nothing left. Leave no trace. And yeah, we're gonna swing by the waterfront, get one last glimpse of the mountain, and then we're gonna trek down. It's time to go down. I'll see you guys at the car, and stop and show you any good views on the way there. Here's a quick little view of the bluff when there is not a bunch of fog out. And here's the avalanche zone when there isn't a bunch of clouds and cover. Yeah, as I was taking off my puffer, I think I found out part of it's actually a little bit burnt. The zipper won't go down all the way, so I have to treat it like a sweater now. Kind of weird. I think we're a little under a mile away from the starting point now, and feeling fantastic, honestly. These hikes are getting easier and easier, which is probably gonna open up the possibility for longer trips here soon. And just like that, we're back at the bridge. Nice. Well, talk about a full lot. When I got here, I was literally the only car. Ain't that something? Either way, since we're down here now, just want to thank y'all for sticking around and watching. I got a big trip planned, so stick around for more, y'all. Josh and Nature out.